put it back in the bag after the Super G, and then the slalom skis will come out. Big jump there from Marusa FERK, and the first one is down. Now, this is a similar problem to what we faced on Friday. That jump took the first 3 racers out of the contest on Friday. One of them was STUHEC, another one was Voelkl, the third one was Denise Feierabend, who went off to hospital. It was this section that they were unable to control. FERK flew a long way, landed below the next control gate, and had quite a heavy landing. And we'll keep our fingers crossed that she's okay. When this happened on Friday, we had a delay, a restart, and they lowered the start to get past that jump. It looks like a similar problem might be upon us today. So Marie-Michèle FERK is okay. Watching at the side of the course, Urs Lehmann in the background. 1993 world downhill champion, now a big noise within the Swiss Ski Federation. And it looks as if the race will be interrupted for a little while. Christine SCHEYER is due to go next. And if this keeps happening, if we get 2 or 3 fallers, then we're in big trouble, because this is what happened on Friday. Christine SCHEYER, number 2 for Austria, has been a World Cup winner for the first time in her career this season. 9th in Val d'Isère, and then she took the win in Altenmarkt in downhill. Let's see how she copes with this course, set by one of the Austrian coaches. No training run, remember, because it's a Super G. That big jump is approaching for Christine SCHEYER. She takes off, makes the next left-footed turn, managed to restrict the height she got off the jump. That was a sensible ploy. Christine SCHEYER, 16th in the Super G yesterday, didn't finish the first run of Friday's Alpine combined. Coming down towards the steep finish now. It's a testing course, and SCHEYER is unable to complete it. Well, this is a tough mountain for the Women's World Cup. The plan for the organisers, and they've spent a lot of money remodelling this mountain over the last 7 or 8 years, is to make this what they have described as the women's strife. And you can see that it is full of rollers and hazards that it's not quite, doesn't quite resemble Kitzbühel yet, but it will be a tricky downhill course when they do race downhill here. And if it does host the World Championships in 2025 and possibly be part of the Olympics the following year, then this is going to be a true test for the best women's skiers in the world. The grandstands are packed today. So now Ilka Stoeckli will attempt to be the first to finish and set the pace for the others to follow. The leader in the World Cup combined standings. Stoeckli of Slovenia, the winner of yesterday's Super G, second in Friday's first Alpine combined, leads the standings. In a battle with Mikaela Shiffrin now, towards the end of the season for the overall World Cup title. Can she handle this jump? Did well. Kept her weight positioned evenly over the center of her skis, but there are difficult sections still to come. The course much firmer underfoot than it was for Friday or Saturday's races. As Stoeckli sets up with a nice high line. Had the measure of the mountain yesterday, but it's a different pattern of gates today. That's where SCHEYER went out. Stoeckli into the tuck as she goes across the face of the mountain and then heads towards the steep finish. Nice and flat here. Chance to refuel. And the final section approaching, the steep conclusion of the Mont Lachaux track, and Stoeckli, oh, just about got away with that. What a recovery. Will that catch up with her, though? Is she able to harness the speed she's clearly built up on the top of the course? Still difficult sections to come as Ilka Stoeckli looks to win the Alpine Combined World Cup today, and she is the first to finish the Super G stage of today's contest. 1:21.05. That was a super run. This is a tricky course, and Stoeckli's just about kept it together. Rosina Schneeberger next to ski for Austria, number 4. Now, will that be the quickest time of the day from Ilka STUHEC? No Lindsey Vonn today. She's opted out. Had a bit of food poisoning on Friday. Didn't race in Friday's Alpine combined till it was too dangerous. I wonder what she'd think of this. Might decide that this is too dangerous as well. Rosina Schneeberger travelling pretty nicely so far. 22.92 for STUHEC. Schneeberger is only a quarter of a second slower. And Schneeberger has a chance to make up that deficit if she gets a better line than STUHEC enjoyed on the bottom section. .69 off the pace now. Through this flat section. Coach is watching at the side of the course, gliding from turn to turn. But shortly she'll have to stand a little taller and negotiate these steep turns on the bottom part of the course, beginning with that big left footer through the banana gate. And on she goes, 1:10.28 for STUHEC. 1:10, 1:11, 1:11.83 for Schneeberger. STUHEC's time is going to take some beating, I'm pretty sure of that now. Off the little ledge towards the finish, it's a straight line, 2-gate conclusion, and Schneeberger clocks 1:22.85. Wendy Holdener's getting some final words of advice from her coaching team. Mikaela KIRCHGASSER, she will be going for surgery after today's race. This is the last race of the season. Apparently the last time we'll see Mikaela KIRCHGASSER until she hopefully returns at the start of next year, if she's not in any pain. She's been racing in a lot of pain for the last 3 or 4 seasons, has decided to go for knee surgery to try and correct that, and hopes to return for a tilt at an Olympic medal next season. And she is almost matching Ilka STUHEC here. Mikaela KIRCHGASSER is, of course, a slalom specialist, but a really good combined skier. And she's still mathematically capable of winning the Crystal Globe, but not anymore, because she won't finish the Super G. And that brings Mikaela KIRCHGASSER's season to an end. Took a medal at the World Championships in the Alpine combined. No luck for KIRCHGASSER here today. So we wish her well with her surgery and subsequent recovery. Meanwhile, in the finish area, Ilka STUHEC is enjoying another day in the spotlight. She spent a lot of time standing in that leaders' enclosure this season as the little airship flies above, bringing us some good aerial shots of the grandstands. Ricarda HAASER will be next to go for Austria, and she's ready to race in the start hut. Ricarda HAASER has number 6, 30th in yesterday's Super G. Skied well in the first stage of Friday's combined, but didn't complete the slalom. 9th in the World Championship Alpine combined. One to watch, 23-year-old Ricarda HAASER in forthcoming World Cup, Olympic and World Championship seasons. Off the jump, which caught out the first skier on the mountain, Marusa, but word quickly spread to the top of the hill to watch your flight and speed off that kicker. And HAASER is quicker than STUHEC at the intermediate, or at least she was, but I don't think she will at the next one, because she's having a scrappy middle section here, the Austrian, and is not skiing the most economic line at all. 41.38 for STUHEC, 0.27 behind now for Ricarda HAASER, so the damage has been limited. Wide stance as she tries to pick up speed, which she'll hope to control as the next part of the course arrives, where more technical demands are required. Nice little left-footed turn there, and it's a good racing line on the bottom steep section for Ricarda HAASER, and she is skiing for second position provisionally right now. Only 2 finishers, Ilka STUHEC and Rosina Schneeberger, who are first and second, and now Ricarda HAASER goes into second. She is 0.58 down. Ilka Stoeckli leads, Ricarda HAASER second, Rosina SCHNEEBERGER third. A couple of shaky moments for Ricarda HAASER, but she got away with it. Slalom to come. She'll get rid of those long Super G skis and trade them in for something shorter. Now, Wendy Holdener is another slalom specialist. A good combined skier, as she proved with the gold medal in the Alpine combined in St. Moritz. And she finished in runners-up spots, silver medalist to Mikaela Shiffrin in the World Championship slalom. Bit of a hero of Swiss sport right now in the absence of Lara Gut, Wendy Holdener. Fourth here on Friday, 27th in the Super G yesterday. Determined to get a better Super G run under her belt this morning and compete in the race for the Alpine combined today. She's a little late there, leans in to make the turn. Time to tuck now for Wendy Holdener. Just keeps her hands slightly separated, pushed out in front of her. That's proven to be the most aerodynamically efficient shape. Full second off the pace, but Holdener more than capable of making up that sort of deficit when she clicks into her slalom skis for the second stage of this combined later. The slalom incidentally due off at 12:30 UK time. That's 1:30 local. Between now and then we'll be heading to Venier for the men's Super G on the Olympic course with Nick and Ed. Wendy Holdener, hero of Swiss sport right now, double medalist from the World Championships, skis into third position. She's not too far off the pace. She could win this race today. 1.67 seconds down. That is more than manageable for Wendy Holdener with her slalom skills. Next up, Marie-Therese TVIBERG from Norway. 22-year-old who's been making strides on the World Cup this season. 15th in yesterday's Super G, 14th in Friday's combined. TVIBERG controlled that jump beautifully. That was how to do it. Now, has she got the advantage over STUHEC? So she's not far behind, 0.73 down. And TVIBERG heads off onto the flats in pretty good shape here. Nice high line there. Big right-footed turn. Now she'll wrap the ski poles under her armpits, around her upper body, and cruise through the flats. And she's got good speed across the snow. Now the bottom part of the Mont Lachaux presents an entirely different set of characteristics. 88.5 through the speed trap for TVIBERG of Norway. Nice high line as she comes onto the slalom part of the course. The clock is wrong. There's no way she's 3 seconds quicker than Ilka Stoeckli there. Sometimes we do get these weird things happening with the timing system. She will finish in the top 3, will she? Yes, 1.6 off the pace of Ilka Stoeckli, who still leads with Ricarda HAASER second and Marie-Therese TVIBERG now third. Number 9, Federica Brignone, the winner of Friday's Alpine combined, looking for the double. Second in the standing. She's only 40 points behind Ilka Stoeckli, and Brignone's got an eye on a globe today. This is the last Alpine combined of the season. They have one in Val d'Isère, won by Ilka Stoeckli on the 16th of December. Federica Brignone finished in the top 5 there. The second Alpine combined in Crans-Montana here on Friday was won by Federica Brignone, and she is a fine Super G skier and had a really good slalom run on Friday to win the first of 3 races this weekend. 5th in yesterday's Super G. How close is she to STUHEC? This is key. 700s. Brignone is in the mix here. Off onto the flats now. Can she glide effectively? Can turn in the tuck position through that direct section on the flats, sending them from one side of the mountain to the other. And now it gets steep and more gnarly for Federica Brignone. Oh, and she's in trouble. And Brignone just about managed to recover. Didn't miss a gate. Lost a lot of time, though, as she was horizontal on the hill for a split second. And I think Brignone's might be too far removed to do any damage today now. 1.29, I don't know. We'll see. If she skis slalom as well as she skied on Friday, she's got a chance. But it's a slim chance. This is where she went down. What a recovery that was from Federica Brignone. Third right now. Elena Cortoni. Cracking day yesterday. Likes the spring conditions, skis well when it's soft. It's not quite as soft today. It will soften as the sun does its stuff. Now, Elena Cortoni won the junior world title in Super G on this mountain back in 2011. Likes this hill. Runner-up to Ilka STUHEC 24 hours ago in Saturday's Super G. Trails by 0.84. It's a little sluggish so far from Elena Cortoni. Now off on towards the flats. Has she made up any time? 41.38 for STUHEC. She has made up a significant margin there, Elena Cortoni. Steep section to come. She's got to avoid any mistakes. And she could claw back another couple of tenths. 86.7 through the speed gun. Big left-footed turn coming here with the banana gate to follow. Off towards the other side of the mountain. Steep and tough here. And Cortoni has paid the price for a rather cautious approach. The transition from flat to steep is where she lost her time. And Cortoni is down in fourth for the moment, nearly a second and a half slower than Ilka STUHEC, who leads the way yet again. What an extraordinary season Ilka STUHEC is having. Ricarda HAASER second right now for Austria. Federica Brignone in third, with Elena Cortoni having just skied into fourth. Wendy Holdener well positioned in sixth at the moment, 1.67 seconds behind, and a chance for the slalom specialist to make her way up through the standings in the second stage of today's Alpine combined. We're going to take a break, but you won't miss a thing.
Thanks, you too.
Chris and his companion here are the same age, and both love a night out. For some dating sites, this is enough to make them a match. But at eHarmony, using our 29 measures of compatibility, our experts partner people on their personality, values, and, you know, the stuff that really matters. So when you meet someone from eHarmony, instead of blank stares, you'll get butterflies. eHarmony.co.uk. Join free today.
I'm not selling my car private.
No change, you haven't missed anything. Ilka STUHEC still leading the way ahead of HAASER and Brignone. Number 11 in the start hut is the Canadian Marie-Michèle Gagnon. Off and running. Now the sun is starting to appear, making visibility a little better on the top part of the course. Not that it was difficult for the earlier starters. Here's the jump. Gagnon handles it well, stands on that left ski. 22.92, the intermediate here. Gagnon seems to be in pretty good shape and is only 11 hundredths behind STUHEC. Then the first mistake, out towards the blue line. That will act as a break. This is still pretty solid, though, for Marie-Michèle Gagnon. She's having to lean in. STUHEC made a similar mistake. Time difference between them is very encouraging for the Canadian. 14 hundredths, first green light we've seen for a while. 27-year-old has a good record in combined races, has won World Cup combined races in the past, 2 of them, and was sixth here on Friday. And she is in the chase. 3 hundredths of a second off the pace. Marie-Michèle Gagnon is a good slalom skier as well, better than STUHEC on paper, and she could be in shape for a World Cup win today. If she can complete this Super G, she'll fancy her chances heading into the slalom leg later. And Gagnon skied brilliantly into second position. Marie-Michèle Gagnon gives herself a serious opportunity this afternoon. did the hard work on the top of the course. Was nice and early on the line on the bottom half and got the reward. Second at the moment. Now Francesca Marsaglia from Italy. See what she can do here today. 17th yesterday, 12th on Friday in the combined. Marsaglia, the 27-year-old Italian, off the jump, which has caused problems, lands it well enough and gets on her way. 22.92 for STUHEC, 22.88 from Marsaglia, doing nicely in the middle part of the course. That's a smooth turn. Not much snow coming off the skis, but too late there, and she missed the next red, and that is where it ends for Francesca Marsaglia, and she'll be suitably displeased when she sees the splits a little later, because she had a couple of green lights here, the Italian, before it all unraveled. So the best of the Italians still Federica Brignone there in fourth, with Elena Cortoni fifth. They're well positioned, although Marsaglia didn't make the bottom of the mountain. Now, good chance for Switzerland today with Michèle Gagnon. Didn't finish the Super G stage of Friday's Alpine combined. Let's see if she can put one down here. Silver medalist in the World Championships in the combined in St. Moritz. Behind Wendy Holdener, it was a Swiss gold-silver double medal day in the women's Alpine combined. Michèle Gagnon ready to race for the host nation. Younger sister of Dominique, who was the joint Olympic downhill champion in Sochi. Shared the gold with, well, they got one each, of course. Shared the title with Tina Maza. Dominique now retired, watching at the bottom of the mountain, or possibly back home in Engelberg today, as Michèle flies long, lands it, gets away with it. 22.92 for STUHEC. Gagnon is more than a second slower. Good slalom skier, and she'll need those skills later if she completes this Super G leg. That's a decent turn from Michèle Gagnon. Got the line judged to perfection. Off on her way on the flats now. Has she made up any time? She has. Just over a tenth has been recovered. Is she low enough over her skis, or is it a little cautious, that tuck? Another tenth has gone missing for Michèle Gagnon. Hand down there and just scrapes inside the blue. Very nearly straddled the outer gate of the Super G. 1:10.28 next up. Gagnon's going to be significantly further adrift. Last little roller off the ledge, tucks in for the line, straight line from the jump downwards, and Gagnon is ninth for the moment, 2.39 seconds off the pace. Well, this was the lucky escape. Drifting out towards that blue, had to stand tall, just squeezed around it. Next up, Lauren Ross from the USA. Didn't start on Friday, one of the trio of Americans to withdraw when they thought the race was dangerous. Did start yesterday, but didn't finish. She wasn't alone. Countless fallers in yesterday's Super G, including Ross's teammate Lindsey Vonn, who's opted out of racing today. Ross is in pretty good shape here. 3/4 of a second off the pace of Ilka Stoeckli, whose lead looks pretty well established now. So Stoeckli's leads. Gagnon's had a great run to go second. Ricarda HAASER of Austria third, then Brignone, Cortoni, TVIBERG. Wendy Holdener will still fancy her chances in seventh right now, the slalom specialist. And Lauren Ross is now getting closer to Stoeckli's time. Shoulder charge that control gate to make sure of it. Through the middle of the undergate, the big banana on the transition from flat to steep, and she's traveling nicely. Lauren Ross gets late, puts the brakes on. That would have cost her maybe 2 or 3 more tenths. I'm not sure she's going to be in the same second as Ilka STUHEC now. And she's 1.83 slower after a really good top 3 quarters. Suddenly let it slip on the bottom quarter of the run. Anne-Sophie from France has been on the podium in World Cup Alpine combines in the past. It's the only time she's ever made a World Cup podium. It was in an Alpine combined race held last season in Soldeu El Tata in Andorra that Barthé from Courchevel had her one and only World Cup podium. So she'll be skiing here with a little bit of confidence. Ooh, it's good speed from Anne-Sophie Barthé, but unable to harness that speed as she skis out. Frustrating weekend for Barthé. French team had a top 10 in the end yesterday, with Tiffany Gauthier coming with a late starting number to post 10th position. Anne-Sophie Barthé, not the first who's failed to finish, and she won't be the last. So far, FERK, SCHEYER, KIRCHGASSER, Marsalier, and now Anne-Sophie Barthé have all failed to complete their Super G run as Wendy HOLDENER starts to move everything around and prepare for the slalom stage coming up at 12:30 local, 12:30 UK time, 1:30 local. Last words of instruction for Sofia Goggia. I wonder if she was listening, because she's only got one way of doing things, and that's give it everything. It's brought a real element of excitement to the Women's World Cup, I have to say, with Sofia Goggia now involved, as Michelle Gizin removes her bib in the finish, and Stephanie Brunner prepares to ski her Super G. On her way now, Stephanie Brunner, the 23-year-old. Approaching the jump now, which has caught a few of them out. Brunner has the measure of it, lands softly, and this is a really good top section so far from Stephanie Brunner. Will she get the reward on the clock? She is in touch, 3 tenths away, but another one is out. A misjudgment, course inspection so key. Words of advice from the coach is absolutely critical. So far only 10 have made it to the bottom of the course of 16 starters. We're supposed to have the top 30 reversed for the slalom later, but we might not have 30 involved. Lauren Rossi's at the base of the mountain now. Meanwhile, the queue continues to build at the top. Sofia Goggia is about to get going. Steely look in her eyes. Medalist at the World Championships. Anne-Sophie Barthé has arrived at the finish, but without having completed the Super G stage of today's combined. And Stephanie Brunner's about to get down there as well. So next in the start hut will be Ragnhild Mowinckel from Norway, 24 years old. 9th yesterday, decent result. She has had some top 10 positions this year, 3 in GS, 1 in Super G yesterday, 4th at best. That was in the giant slalom in Semmering at Christmas. Looks to be in pretty good shape so far, Mowinckel, the Norwegian. 800ths quicker than Ilka STUHEC at intermediate number 1. It started well for Mowinckel. Wide stance there, digging that right ski hard into the softening snow and off onto the flats. Will she still be in front at the next intermediate? Yes, she's improved her standing here. 0.38 quicker than Ilka STUHEC. Now she glides, wide stance. Limited amount of work to be done at this stage, but it all changes at this big left-footed turn coming her way right here. Stands on the left ski, makes it through the blue and the red unscathed. Green all the way so far for Mowinckel of Norway. 15th in Fridays combined. Has reasonable slalom skills, although it's not her strongest suit. She's skiing potentially for second position here. Mowinckel is third eventually. Good run from Ragnhild Mowinckel. She'll be happy with that. STUHEC's lead is intact at the moment. Marie-Michèle Gagnon holds second, and now Ragnhild Mowinckel has mixed things up, skiing into third position for the Norwegian team. HAASER fourth, then BRIGNONE, Cortoni, TVIBERG, Wendy Holdener still in good shape in 8th position. With her slalom skills, this is still very winnable for Wendy Holdener. Number 18 next will be Stephanie Venier from Austria, who was on the podium yesterday in the race that was won by Ilka STUHEC. Stephanie Venier finished third. Two Slovenians, Marusa didn't finish today, but STUHEC did in first position. She's had a couple of scares recently, first from Gagnon and then from Mowinckel, who have got within half a second of her time. There's another delay while the course is repaired. Anne-Sophie looking a little unimpressed with her efforts today. Didn't finish. Not quite sure what the hold is now. Stephanie Venier will be next to go for Austria, and then Sofia Goggia, and you never quite know what she's going to bring to the racing today. 23-year-old Stephanie Venier from Austria. Silver medalist in the World Championship downhill behind Ilka STUHEC. On the podium again behind Ilka STUHEC. Yesterday in the Super G she was third, and she's racing. Last day of 3 here in Crans-Montana, and then a long flight for many of these racers. Busy time at the airport for the next couple of weekends for the racers. They will, a lot of them will move from here to Korea and then to California, crisscrossing the globe in search of World Cup points, wins and titles. STUHEC is the leader at this stage. Venier is less than half a second slower. Started well. 19th in Fridays combined. Off into the woods on the flats now. This big transition from one part of the mountain to the other. You can see it's pretty green in the valley below. 55.35 for STUHEC. Venier is 0.16 and closing. 91.8 through the speed gun. That's a lovely turn. Really good high line. I wonder if Venier might go green at the next intermediate. It's possible. It's 0.22. She's in the hunt here. Skiing potentially for provisional third. Could that happen? Yes, third it is for Stephanie Venier. She is in the mix once again. Third in yesterday's individual Super G, third with a slalom leg to come today. Enjoying a really good couple of weeks of racing, the highlight of which was the silver from the World Championships in downhill. Sofia Goggia, ready to go in Crans-Montana. Didn't finish the first run on Friday, didn't finish yesterday's Super G. Can she make it to the bottom of the mountain today? The World Championship bronze medalist in giant slalom. Also finished fourth in the downhill. Can Goggia make it happen today? 1300ths. It certainly started well for the fiery Italian. 24 years old. Goggia putting in a beautiful right-footed turn there. Skis airborne, just lifted the tips of her race skis there, and she's turned it into a massive advantage. 0.46. The question remains, will she finish the run? Big left-footed turn to come. Can she negotiate that? The atomic skis are running well for Sofia Goggia. Half a second up. A little late, but not too much damage done. Absorbs that roller. Carries on her way. Still in front, surely. 0.63. Goggia is laying it down, finally. Now, the last jump to go. She lands, she tucks, she skis for the line, she skis for the lead. 0.36. Goggia steals it from STUHEC. If only she'd done that yesterday, she would have had her first World Cup win. She leads the way, but there's still a slalom to come, of course. Goggia into first. Can't believe it. It's finally starting to happen for Sofia Goggia. Ilka STUHEC second, Marie-Michèle Gagnon third, then Venier, Mowinckel, HAASER, BRIGNONE, Cortoni, TVIBERG and HOLDENER in 10th, still in the running here, Wendy Holdener. 2 seconds off the pace. The best of the slalom skiers currently located in the top 10 standings, although you would think that Gagnon might now be favourite for the win. We'll see. Ramona Siebenhofer is on the hill now, the Austrian, 0.76 off the pace at the first intermediate. .92, and it's a big chunk of time that Siebenhofer has lost as she went towards the flats. 54.8 for Goggia, our new leader. Siebenhofer clocks 56.81, a difference of more than 2 seconds. Best of the Austrians, Stephanie Venier currently in 4th. Off the final jump, and Siebenhofer is not going to have an impact here today. She's 14th, which I think probably makes her the slowest of the finishers so far. Indeed it does. So Sofia Goggia is still shrugging her shoulders and wondering what happened today to make it all go right. I'm not sure she can go on to win this today. She'll need a seriously good slalom run, but she leads the way. A disbelieving Sofia Goggia, who's had so many near misses, is leading stage 1 of today's combined.
I understand nothing about skiing.
I understand nothing about skiing, she says. What a breath of fresh air Sofia Goggia has been for the World Cup.
Don't miss the Gibraltar Open, Friday 12:45 p.m. live on Euros.
First position in stage 1 of today's combined. Next up for Switzerland, Priska Nufa will be on her way. Number 21, 36th yesterday, 20th on Friday. Now Nufa's another one who's unpredictable. Let's see what she can muster in today's Alpine combined. The jump is well negotiated. Nufa, 25 years old. Oh, she's hanging on in there, some really well-angled turns, and it's a bit of a risky run from Priska Nufa, but this is what you get from Nufa, from Johanna Halen, one or two of the younger, determined Swiss racers who are eager to make their mark. Nufa's gone a little bit off course and has paid the price for that. More than a second down. .87.4. It's getting worse and worse for Nufa. The best of the Swiss still. Wendy Holdener holding 10th position and not without a chance of winning this combined today. Nufa has no chance of winning this combined today. She's 2.5 seconds down. flies the Crans-Montana jump and skis into 13th position. Starting intervals shortened now to 1 minute and 15, so we'll see the racers out of the start and then find them a little further down the hill. So it's 22, Patricia Dorsch from Germany, 23 years old. Dorsch takes the jump well enough. Not much wrong with this so far, apart from the time. 2.29 seconds off the pace. That's a little ragged at times from Dorsch. '16th, and therefore the slowest of the finishers so far. Although every one of the racers down the mountain is getting a warm welcome from the Swiss crowd. They're really generous here in Crans-Montana. They love their ski racing, love their sport, actually. It's such a sporty part of the world, with all the golf and obviously the skiing, big golfing town, mountain biking, equestrian centre as well. So much going on. Next of the racers on the hill is Romain Miradoli from France, number 23. Oh, Miradoli in a bit of trouble there off the jump. Oh, and she's in real trouble. She's got them sideways, manages to control that little hockey stop that she put in unexpectedly. So a DNF for Romain Miradoli. Ricarda HAASER there. She's well positioned in 6th spot right now. Just behind her is Stephanie Venier, who's even better off in 4th. Valerie Grenier now from Canada, number 24. Total of 48 due to start, so we're halfway through. Grenier's had time to hear the thoughts of Marie-Michèle Gagnon, who has, I imagine, used the two-way radio and communicated to the rest of the Canadians at the top of the hill. Well, Grenier's not going to finish. She's skiing more like she was in a ski across competition there. No luck for Valerie Grenier. We'll see a little more of this now, I would imagine, as the less experienced racers come down. We've still got Mikaela Shiffrin to come. She needs points if she's to consolidate her lead at the top of the overall World Cup standings. A ponderous Valerie Grenier at the side of the mountain. A DNF for her today. Now the Italian coach is watching on. Next up will be Federica Socio, starting with number 25. Still to come today, men's Super G from Kvitfjell in Norway on the Olympic course with Nick and Ed. That will follow after our coverage, conclusion of our coverage of stage 1, and then we'll return to Crans-Montana shortly before 12:30 UK time, 1:30 local, for the slalom leg of today's Alpine combined. Federica Socio on the mountain for Italy, a little further and higher than she might have been comfortable with off the big jump, which has proved problematic, and she's losing her way and will not finish. Anne-Sophie still discussing what's happened to her as Socio and Grenier join forces at the side of the hill. Packed in they are here today. And a much more relaxed feel about the World Cup when it's warm. Nicole Delago next up for Italy, 21 years old. 24th on Friday in the first instalment of the weekend of racing. Combined on Friday, Super G yesterday, another combined today. There was an extra race added into the calendar following a cancellation earlier in the season in Austria. Nicole Delago is living dangerously, but is just about keeping it together here. 2.14 off the pace. Oh, she's putting the brakes on at the end of every turn. Very much a steady, make sure of the finish sort of run from Nicole Delago. Last gate, then she tucks in for home, and it is a 1:23.52 for Nicole Delago. 15th position. Back at the top of the course, another chance for Switzerland to flex their muscles. This is Ragnhild Mowinckel, 22 years old, 22nd on Friday, 33rd in yesterday's Super G. A run that she completed, but a descent that was absolutely littered with errors. Can she correct that today and have a trouble-free run down the Mont Lachaux? 1.91, almost 2 seconds off the pace at the moment for Ragnhild Mowinckel. And Wendy Holdener still flying the flag for Switzerland. She's in 10th position, still with a chance of winning today. But it will need to be a really brutal slalom run from Wendy Holdener if she's to climb up from 10th to 1st. We saw it in the World Championships, didn't we? With Luca Erni, good slalom skier. He went all the way from 30th to 1st. Marcel Hirscher went from 29th to 2nd. Next to the Germans, this is Lena Dürr, number 28. Good slalom skier. Could do well in the second half, but first things first, has to finish the Super G to kick things off. Big jump coming. Dürr lands it. Now on the flats, we'll pick her up a little further down the course with the shortened starting intervals. We're seeing the top third and the bottom third. Tough to see that there'll be any serious challenge to Sofia Goggia's time. Mikaela Shiffrin has got a bit of Super G form this season. She starts with number 31, of course, and you can never discount Shiffrin, but it will need to be Shiffrin at her very best in Super G to get in amongst it today. Sofia Goggia leads for Italy. Ilka Stoeckli is second for Slovenia. Marie-Michèle Gagnon currently third for Canada. Next to race, Elisabeth Kapauer from the Austrian team, 22 years old. Finished 11th in Friday, her best ever World Cup position. .77 seconds off the pace with the steepest part of the course to come. Little spread eagle off that roller. And Kapauer's late now. really long levers, arms and legs, but she's able to exercise a huge amount of control, and she will complete the Super G leg in 13th position. Kapauer, I think, pretty satisfied with that. Chance to maybe break the top 10 today. Ricarda HAASER, her teammate, watching on. Now, 19-year-old Leona Popovic will be next to go. Croatian on her way. Croatian women's team, since the retirement of Janica Kostelic, have really not produced anyone of any standing, but maybe Leona Popovic could be one to watch. Still in her teens, and a decent all-rounder. 18th on Friday. Didn't finish the Super G here yesterday. Will be doubly determined to finish this first leg today. .34 seconds down. She'll have to really motor when she puts her slalom skis on later. And at the moment, she is 21st. That's the slowest of the finishers so far, Leona Popovic. So Mikaela Shiffrin will be next to ski for the USA, number 31. Let's see what Shiffrin can produce in softening conditions. Sofia Goggia still leading the way. The Italian is delighted with the way things have gone today, but it's only halfway through because we have the slalom leg to come. Goggia's advantage over Ilka Stoeckli is .36. Then follows Marie-Michèle Gagnon in third. Then Venier, Mowinckel, HAASER, BRIGNONE. In eighth, Cortoni on the podium yesterday. Then TVIBERG and HOLDENER, the best chance for Swiss success today. She could comfortably move up with her slalom ability from 10th to take a place on the podium. Switzerland still looking for their first podium of the weekend. And a clutch of DNFs, lots of them. It's a tough mountain. Would be a great place to hold an Olympic event or a World Championship event, both of which are being talked about. In third right now, the Canadian Marie-Michèle Gagnon, good combined skier. She could stake a claim for a podium place, maybe even a win today. Third right now, with slalom to come, and she's a good slalom skier. In second, the skier who led for so long, Ilka Stoeckli, yesterday's winner, runner-up on Friday, looking for points to close the gap on Mikaela Shiffrin and potentially to win the Alpine combined globe today. She's second. But it's this lady who's finally got it all together. And her words when she reached the finish were, "I understand nothing about skiing." But she can understand that she's the quickest on the mountain so far today with a lead of .36 over Ilka Stoeckli. Roger Moore lives in these parts. He's got a house in this part of Crans-Montana. Sir Roger Moore likes his skiing. Did his own skiing, I think, in one or two of his James Bond films back in the 70s and 80s. Live and Let Die was the first, followed by The Man with the Golden Gun. That was his second. And then I lose track after that. My favourite of his films was The Wild Geese. Brilliant film. Sir Roger Moore playing Sean Finn in that film alongside Richard Burton, Richard Harris, Hardy Kruger. All-star cast. If you haven't seen it, it's a great adventure movie. Mikaela Shiffrin is ready to go now for the United States of America. Goggles down. And good to go.
Any strength left? A little bit. Okay.
Strength. His fist pump was like, try again.
Taking the mickey out of her coach because his fist pump was pretty lame. Let's see what strength Mikaela Shiffrin has left in her legs. Didn't race on Friday, finished 13th yesterday. Can she make it happen today? They're holding her up because the course is having salt applied to try and keep it raceable. They've used a ton of salt this weekend. Stephanie Brunner on the right. Mikaela Shiffrin's race has been held up because of repairs to the course. Lots of fans here for Shiffrin, the World Cup overall standings leader on 1,223 points. Next best at the moment coming into today's race is Ilka Stoeckli on 965. It looks like the end of the season, the last 3 weekends of racing, plus the midweek races at the World Cup finals, could see a real tussle between Shiffrin and Stoeckli. Now Shiffrin's going to go down with her accreditation still on. Still got her accreditation tucked under her race suit. Behind her the queue's forming. 34 is Michaela Weinig, the German, just ahead of her. Marlene Schmotz, also of Germany, but they're still not ready to give Shiffrin clearance. And this is why. Pretty agricultural, isn't it, the way the salt is applied, just to try and firm up the deteriorating top surface of the snow. 1 minute call for Shiffrin now. The 21-year-old, I can't believe that, still just 21. Triple world champion. Super G form this season has been promising at times.
Have fun and send it.
Fourth in Cortina in the Super G there. That was just prior to the World Championships. Focused on the technical events in St. Moritz, took a silver in the giant slalom, and then her third successive World Championship gold in the slalom, in which she's also the Olympic champion. Let's see what she can produce here, Mikaela Shiffrin.
Let's go, girl.
Come on, Michaela.
Right from the start. Come on.
Mikaela Shiffrin of the United States of America, number 31. She's had a long wait in the start hut, but now she goes to work. Decent turns to start with. Has amazing control over those atomic skis, whatever length she's using, especially in slalom. If she can get within a couple of seconds of Sofia Goggia's lead, then she is definitely in with a hunt of a podium place today. And it started really well for Shiffrin, just 1700ths off the pace. An incredibly intelligent skier. Off onto the flats. We'll see all of her run. And within 3/4 of a second of the lead. This is, once again, very promising for Shiffrin. The top 6 separated by 0.94 of a second. So there is room for Shiffrin at the top of the table. And still only 8/10 down, leans inside that blue, makes it count, sets up for the left-footed turn through the big high-speed banana gate. Skis off the snow momentarily, onto the steep finish now. Can Shiffrin hold it together? 1.18. Top 10, still very possible for Mikaela Shiffrin. And she and Wendy Holdener could be involved in a battle for the slalom bragging rights today. 7th for Shiffrin. 1.3 off the pace. That's superb. There's a mum. Sigh of relief from her mum, watching Shiffrin come home safely, and gives herself a serious shot at the win today. 1.3 behind Goggia. Well, Shiffrin is now the favourite to win today's combined. There's no doubt about that. 32, Marlene Schmotz from Germany. Starting interval still 1.15 seconds, so we'll see the top third and the bottom third. Schmotz is 2.07 seconds off the pace. Well, the potential outcome of this race has been turned upside down by Mikaela Shiffrin's 7th position in the Super G leg. She could pick up another 100 points today and stretch her lead over Ilka Stoeckli. Stoeckli's currently 2nd. Top 7, Goggia, Stoeckli, Gagnon, Venier, Mowinckel, HAASER and Shiffrin, with Brignone just behind. Then Courtoni 9th and TVIBERG in 10th. Wendy Holdener now bumped down to 11th, and her chance has been reduced following Shiffrin's heroics in the Super G leg. Katarina Paulatova is away now for the Czech Republic. 29th in the St. Moritz Giant Slalom. Highlight of her World Championship exploits. So the key now for the later starters is to be sure of finishing in the top 30. And with an awful lot of DNFs, it's distinctly possible. 24th at the moment for Paulatova, makes her the slowest, but she could be one of the first to start, depending on how many of the later Super G runners fail to finish. Top 30 will go in reverse order. We might not even get 30 actually in the race, because there are only 48 starters, and we've already had a lot of failures to finish. Michaela Weinig from Germany, 34. Steady old start for Weinig. Here's the jump. Weinig a little cautious. Oh, Michaela Weinig's got herself in a bit of trouble there on the flats and fails to finish the Super G stage. Marta Bassino will be next. And not a good day for the Germans ready today. Vicky Ravensburg not starting today's competition, had a couple of DNFs over the weekend, and I wonder if Ravensburg will make the trip to, I'm sure she will actually make the trip to South Korea. We'll have all the Olympic test events from Yongchon, the Yongchon Alpine Centre next weekend. Men are racing in KIRCHGASSER. Dave Riding will be in action once more in the men's slalom on Sunday. Marta Bassino is away now. Still to come, the men's Super G from Kvitfjell with Nick and Ed. They're sharpening their pencils, getting ready to bring you action from the final day of racing on the Olympia Bakken in Kvitfjell. Marta Bassino in pretty good shape here. 27th yesterday, 20-year-old Italian. Hot prospect. And 1.3 gives herself a proper chance here, Marta Bassino, if she can stay on her feet and finish, and that is going to happen now. Bassino is 8th. Another great run from a late starter, just behind Mikaela Shiffrin. Happy with that. '20-year-old Marta Bassino will have to sharpen up the slalom skis. Didn't finish the first run on Friday, so we haven't got any recent form in combined for her, but she's in the hunt. Now Nina Ortlieb next to go. From Lech in Austria, just over the hill from St. Anton, where her father, Patrick, runs a hotel. He was the Olympic downhill champion at the Albertville Games in '92. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Well, that's a heavy face plant from Nina Ortlieb, who has missed a chunk of this season with injury and looks to have picked up another nasty knock here. Couldn't get that left ski back under her control, and then she was high-sided here and flat on her face. Goodness me, let's hope she's all right. Neither of the skis released. She was traveling at pretty slow speed, but she's sitting up, and that was a really nasty knock for Nina Ortlieb. Making her way to the side of the course, but there's look at the blood on the course there. She has really done some damage. Facial injury suffered by Nina Ortlieb, but she's managing to walk away, bravely clearing the scene of the accident. One of the Austrian one of the FIS officials there, and Nina Ortlieb is receiving some care and attention at the side of the mountain. One of the ski patrollers now arrived, who will hopefully have some oh, it's one of the Austrian team coaches, actually, isn't it? Oof. Goodness me, we've had some drama this weekend. So many DNFs. It really is a tough mountain. Soft snow. A lot of the top racers were unable to deal with the soft snow yesterday. It was remarkable how they struggled with all the emphasis on racing on the hard-packed, icy courses. When they came to racing in spring conditions yesterday, many of them failed to launch. So just to remind you, Sofia Goggia leads the way. Ilka Stoeckli is 2nd. Then Gagnon and Venier, followed by Mowinckel, HAASER, Shiffrin in 7th. Atli Skordal. It was Atli Skordal who was there to see Nina Ortlieb. I didn't recognise him without his hat on. Atli Skordal probably wishes he was in Norway today, on his home hill in Kvitfjell, where the men are racing World Cup. Nina Ortlieb is getting the attention from the Austrian team, and the race is on hold once again. This is the queue in the start hut. Alexandra Prokopieva will be next to ski for Russia, number 37. 48 due to start. Candice Crawford from Canada, and I think we've just had the 1-minute call for Prokopieva, the Russian, number 37. The timing one going across, so the race ready to resume once more. Alexandra Prokopieva from Russia, number 37. 22 years old, 30th on Friday in the first of the two combined. And this is where Nina Ortley came unstuck, and Prokopieva is another DNF. Plenty of them today. She won't be the last, I don't think. Overcooking the jump and unable to control the continuation. Candice Crawford will be the next of the Canadian racers to tackle this course. They've got Michaela Tommy to come as well. They've also got Marie-Michèle Gagnon, well positioned in third. You've got to think that Mikaela Shiffrin is the favourite for the win today. 1.3 seconds off the pace of Sofia Goggia. Remember, she won the World Championship slalom by a similar margin and has won World Cup slaloms by 3 seconds over the years. So Shiffrin is in good shape for picking up potentially another 100 World Cup points today. Candice Crawford away, 22-year-old Canadian. Oh, she's in a bit of trouble. That's where Lindsey Vonn came unstuck yesterday. Crawford from the Georgian Pink Ski Club on the Niagara Escarpment. Four tenths off the pace at intermediate number one. Crawford skiing pretty well as she heads off into the flats and is now 1.36, respectable top half for Candice Crawford of Canada. 24th yesterday, 29th on Friday. Needs a good Super G run to give herself a chance of World Cup points today. 2 seconds off. Big left-footed turn to come. Slightly wide open upper body stance, a sign of caution from the Canadian. And the turns are a little wider as she just hops off that last Crans-Montana ledge and down towards the finish into 25th position. So the way things stand, she'll be one of the first to start the slalom, but lots to happen yet. Now, the last of the Swiss racers is Yasmina Suter, number 39. 21 years old. 22nd here yesterday. Good Super G result yesterday for Yasmina Suter. She came down after we'd gone off air. Didn't see her race. Lots of noise. Wendy Holdener remains as the best of these Swiss racers and has a chance of a podium today. I'm not sure she can win this, depending on what happens to Mikaela Shiffrin, of course. But Holdener is certainly in the hunt for a podium from 12th position. And Yasmina Suter's skied a respectable Super G leg into 17th spot. That's all right.
Solid all the way.
Jackie Wiles from the USA ready to race.
Jackie on. Stacy in the gate.
Big jump from Wiles, who's supported by the Lindsey Vonn Foundation. Oh, Wiles is another one who has not finished the run and is a little disappointed at the side of the course. She was travelling really well there, Jackie Wiles. She's one with a bright future.
Let's see it, Cookie.
Stacey Cook, the Californian. Now, Cook could get in amongst the top 10 placings with a clean run today. That's absolutely possible. She's got the pedigree to do so and the experience at the age of 32. Has been a World Cup winner in the past, Stacey Cook. '22nd in the San Moritz Alpine combined. 0.36 off the pace. Good run so far from Stacey Cook. Into the flats now, and she's still in good shape. 40.92 for Goggia. 1.23 behind Stacey Cook. Born in Truckee, Darren Ralph's hometown, and is a resident of Mammoth Mountain, which will now stay open until July the 4th. It's had so much snow, that part of California. They've already announced that they will be open until the 4th of July for skiing and snowboarding. I'm sure Cook will be there enjoying some of it. 2.29 off the pace, and off the final jump. She's a bit late for that penultimate gate, but gets there by the skin of her teeth and goes into 15th position. Now the skier from Monaco, Alexandra Coletti, is on her way. Let's see how she copes with this tough Super G course. It's a tough set that the Austrian coach has put in as well. Coletti coming towards the jump. Stands on that left ski and moves away from the succession of rollers in reasonable shape. Now she's starting to get a bit late in the line and will not finish. Stacey Cook in the finish area now after a solid first stage of today's combined competition. Marina Gazianitsa Daniel from Poland. Number 43. 23 years old. Didn't finish yesterday, but finished 26th in Friday's combined. Gazianitsa Daniel is going pretty well here. Skier from Poland. She'll be the last skier we see. And then we'll be heading over to join the build-up to the men's Super G in Kvitfjell this morning with Nick and Ed. And Gazianitsa Daniel, another one who fails to launch and will not get a result today. No second leg for her. Can't ski the slalom unless you finish the Super G. So the Super G World Cup globe is still very much up for grabs. Ilka STUHEC still the favourite to win it, second behind Sofia Goggia in the standings at the moment. Goggia leads, STUHEC is second, Gagnon currently third. And Goggia will be the last to ski the slalom a little later on. She's not a great slalom skier,